In the modern day, it seems people are more divided by politics than ever. It's extremely common for many to only want to associate with those who agree with them politically. Now, I figure, why only stop at making sure your friends are yes men? We need to make sure your video games also align with your beliefs. Minecraft horror mods have, for whatever reason, left their political leanings very ambiguous. I think this is ridiculous. But don't be afraid, I'm here to right this wrong. So let's begin with the most famous and iconic Minecraft horror mod there is. So the cave dweller is the original dweller. This is the dweller which from all others were birthed. It was so influential when it came out in terms of Minecraft horror mods that a lot of mods that just copied it straight up also just ripped half its name too. They would just call themselves like the whatever dweller. And as long as you had the term dweller in it, that was the big thing. That's what brought in the big bucks. That's what brought the attention because people they were going nuts for the dwellers. They loved the dwellers. And what's funny is it didn't make sense. Most of them didn't dwell in shit. They just called themselves that because it was popular. But looking at my list while reading this, I realized that the cave dweller is the only one that I have on here that does that. Anyway, though, since it's the original, it could come off as plain because it doesn't have a gimmick like the other ones do. It's the cave dweller. All the other ones have their like whole niche that they fall into. So as a result, thinking about, where is he politically, where does he stand, who does he vote for, does he support gay marriage? It's not clear. It's not clear. But then I thought about it, right? He's a cave dweller. He's underground. Who else is underground? Coal miners, West Virginian types, blue collar stuff. So as a result of that, I'd say the cave dweller would lap dance the authoritarian libertarian right border. The One Who Watches is a fairly popular mod in its own right. I would not consider it a Dweller clone per se, but it's so popular, it even has its own merch store. But what does that tell us about his politics? He's a free market warrior. He loves capitalism. Now that seems pretty open and shut, right? We could slap him on the compass right now, boom, easy. But there's even more for this guy. Look at his name. What does that make you think of? I'll give you a second. Got it? Of course you do. The name is obviously in reference to the Patriot Act, which was a law signed a month after 9/11, which allows the feds to monitor your activity on the computer. Who signed it? George Bush. This mod is obviously a scathing critique of the Bush administration, but that is the developer's beliefs. So the one who watches is sitting next to W on the compass. The knocker is actually the easiest to pin down out of every mod on this list. The Jehovah's Witness are infamous for their door-to-door approach to spreading their religion. You hear a lot about people complaining about them knocking on doors. I've never met anyone that had that issue, and I personally have never had them come to my door either. Now, being heavily religious, though, is usually associated with being right-wing, think like evangelicals or Southern Baptists, but there's actually a catch here. Jehovah's Witnesses are supposed to be apolitical, as well as being prohibited by their faith from even voting, so unless the knocker is a dirty sinner and is attending rallies on the side, our little witness here goes right in the middle. This mod is the only one on this list I've personally played with, and I can recommend it. Me and a friend had it on our world. I can't believe I found diamonds before redstone. Ooh, that sounded really close.
Yeah.
It was a good time. Now, despite my ringing endorsement, which I know all of you consider gospel, the Goatman is an asshole. We had a barn. One feature of the mod is that the Goatman tries to kill your livestock. He tried to get the livestock. He broke the roof of the barn at least a dozen times. Very annoying. He's a prick. Now, all of this to say, the Goatman clearly has no regard for authority. He lives in the forest and he doesn't let the man tell him what to do. He's clearly an anarchist. And since he lives in the woods and he's gone guru, I'll say the Goatman goes at the bottom between the libertarian right and the libertarian left. So the boiled one actually didn't start off as a Minecraft mod. Originally, it is a YouTube analog horror series. You know when you made it big, when people are putting your shit in Minecraft. I'll be honest, I'm only going off of my memory of the Wendigoon stream where he watches it all. But if I remember correctly, while the series chooses to omit who the boiled one voted for, it does heavily imply that the boiled one could possibly be Satan. or at the very least a demon. Satan is famously very progressive, especially when it comes to women's rights, so because of that, the boiled one is going to go into the libertarian left. Now, obviously, Herobrine isn't a Minecraft horror mod exclusively, he predates those, but it isn't a video about Minecraft horror unless we talk about Herobrine. He genuinely scared me so badly as a kid. I never once for a moment doubted him existing, to the point where I was not able to play solo survival until I was 11. Even to the point where I deleted a creative world that I was really proud of because I had built the gold block Herobrine shrine and I thought it cursed the world. Now, nostalgia and trauma aside, Herobrine has always left his political stance somewhat ambiguous. Unlike his brother, this had been the case for over a decade until recently during the No Kings protests, where he was spotted marching and holding a sign. He still hasn't publicly addressed his sighting, but I believe this is enough evidence for me to make Herobrine the opposite of our cave dweller on the compass. And that's it for this video. To speak candidly, this is my first real video, and obviously it's really rough. I'm still learning my way around editing. But I do just want to make it clear that this video is like a joke. Don't take anything I said in here super seriously. And I would hope that you would have been able to tell that. Even if this video does really well by some miracle, I probably won't do a sequel to it, at least not super closely, just because I think the absurdity and stupidity of this idea only is really funny once, if it's funny at all. Thank you so much, though, if you've watched this far. I'm trying to reach a bajillion subscribers before the end of the week, so please subscribe, have a good day, and bye-bye. Also, I barely have any idea how the political compass actually works. I could have gotten this all wrong.